Hey guys, so it has been a week now since we've last talked with everybody. And so welcome to episode 11. And yeah, my voice is a little better today, so I'm not a whole lot of coughing or, scratchiness in my throat that I've had. So hopefully, we don't have any hiccups today. But today is Black Friday, or as of when I recorded this. I actually recorded this on Thursday, the day before it comes out, simply because there's Stranger Things was coming out. And I did want to talk about it. I want to watch at least some of it. And I did watch at least 2.5 episodes. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But since it is Black Friday and, we're all getting out there buying all the needless stuff that we don't need, I thought that we talk about Black Friday for a little bit today, so you guys can listen to it on your way to work or your way to the store to buy this, all that stuff, But the main reason I wanted to talk about Black Friday, and for those of you, we all know that Black Friday is a scam, right? Like, it's not a secret, right? Like, we all know that these companies are selling products at a enormous price regularly, and then they turn around and drop it down like half price, or in some years they've only dropped things like 20-25%, and it doesn't even feel like a Black Friday sale, but we think we're getting a sale when in actuality they're still making profit. Like, there are very few items that stores sell that the companies actually take a loss on. I know for sure TVs are definitely a loss because TVs are pretty much sold at cost. Just because of all it's just so expensive to get TVs in stores and stuff like that. So if you really want to stick it to the man and cut into their profit margins, buy a TV. Not that you need a TV, but if you need a new TV, there's some pretty decent sales this year for TVs. But the main thing I want to talk about is Lego and something kind of shady that Target did. And now here's the thing. Now, I usually, when somebody posts something online and say, hey, this is what somebody's doing, I won't normally report on it or even have an opinion on it unless I'm like, oh yeah, like legitimately know that's happening. And thankfully, there's at least 2 targets in my area, so I was able to actually hit one of those targets up. Actually, after I saw this video, and it wasn't the reason I went to Target, but I just went to Target just to check out some stuff and see if there's any like Lego sets that they sell that other stores don't sell, because Walmart has a very different selection versus what Target has. Target seems to sell more expensive sets, whereas Walmart tends to sell very few expensive sets. I think the most expensive set Walmart is now selling, I want to say, is the Fast and the Furious set, or the Fast and the Furious car, which I think is $230. And they just recently started, like as of last year, started selling the DeLorean, which has been at Target for years now. But anyways, so the report is that Target turned around and raised the price of all their Lego sets, or a good chunk of their Lego sets, mainly like Star Wars, Marvel, I think Harry Potter, and probably like basically like everything that's licensed Lego. Not necessarily like that's Lego, like Creative or City or Lego City, but like, or Lego Creative, everything that's like licensed stuff, that's like a licensed property that Lego has, made sets of. Target went and raised the prices of some of these sets by $10 from the standard MSRP. And for those of you, like, if you're not in the world of collecting Lego, or if you don't know nothing about Lego, for the most part, Lego is become kind of this. And I had a conversation with a coworker like a couple of days ago, talking about, like, we were talking about the Death Star, and I was looking at it and I almost pulled the trigger on it. I thought about buying that $1,000 Lego set for myself, not for my dad, but for myself. And the more I was looking at it, the more I did research on it, I realized that I don't know. I feel like that set is I think the price that they're charging for it is more so like just the licensing fee, or that it's the Death Star, than the count part. Or like any of the things. And like one of the things is like, oh, it's so interactive and stuff like that. It's like, it's a good play set for kids. No, and like the coworker that I was talking to about this, he agreed with. He's like, yeah, no parent is spending $1,000 for their kid. And I think that's one of the things that I've noticed recently, that Lego has really lost their way in terms of like their mission statement. Like on their website, their mission statement is like, it's something along the lines of building imagination for our children. And so basically they want to inspire children to be able to be creative. That's their mission statement. And it's always Lego. That's what Lego is. It's what it was anyways. But I want to say that Lego's ultimately downfall of being not just a brand for children. And look, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with a set being like, I don't know how to put this, like a brand being for like all ages. Like, I mean, like look at Marvel, for example. Like you have Marvel Legends, which they're being marketed towards children or ages like, 14. But the people buying these are adults. Adult collectors are buying Marvel Legends. And then they have the 3/4 inch scale, like kind of like kids-like toys, which ironically are now the price that Marvel Legends used to be, which are now like around the $14 price point. When they used to be like $8 or $9, they're now $14, where Marvel Legends are now like almost $30. So that's a crazy, like, it's just crazy how inflation has gone up. And if I have a thing I want to talk about inflation, but I think I might save that for a blog post or something like that. But anyways, so that Lego has lost its way and has become more towards like adult collecting, like, and stuff like that. Like my dad's like, and retired, in his 70s, and he has a whole bunch of Legos. That's what his retirement has became. It became building Lego sets and stuff like that. So I mean, it's crazy to think about, that like when I was a kid, my dad was like, oh, he's in the Lego set, and then here he is building Legos himself. So it's kind of it's really a sweet and kind of like a full circle kind of moment for me anyways. But yeah, so like if you go to Lego's website, lego.com is basically the standard price for all Lego sets. So if you go to like Walmart, Target, or say I think maybe Walgreens might sell Legos, Barnes & Noble sells Legos, and pretty much everybody sells Legos now. But if you go somewhere and they have a Lego set that's higher price than what you have on Lego.com, well, just buy it on Lego.com, and then you go, oh, the shipping price, yeah, but you also get Lego insider points that you can use to get free stuff on Lego.com. So it's like, it becomes kind of a, what do you do, right? So when I found out that Target was raising the prices of all their Lego sets and then turning around and saying we're having an early Black Friday sale and then just dropping the price to MSRP prices, I said to myself, there's no way they'd be doing something like that, because that's completely shady. And for for someone like for us collectors, we're gonna see that and we're gonna spot that. Like, if you're an avid Lego builder collector and you go to Target and say you get your Legos from Target, which I don't know why you would, but you go to Target. I mean, I usually either get my Legos either from Lego.com or Walmart, because they usually have what I want. And Target tends to, don't go to Target all that often as a result of that. But most of the time I just buy it from Lego.com, or I get Walmart.com is where I get my Lego sets from. I did get the Lego Soundwave from Target because Walmart.com had it for a higher price than I was willing to pay plus shipping, because it wasn't offered through Walmart Plus. So I was like, I'm not doing that. It's MSRP was $889, so that's what I ended up paying. But anyways, so yeah, I was at Target and I saw it for myself. I was like, okay, well here's the Death Star, the black style Millennium Falcon. Okay, it's $189. Okay, and then I go on Lego.com. Oh, it's $189. And then I looked at, its original price was $205. $205? Oh, no, not $205. $195. So basically almost $8 more. And I'm just like, and it was like that across the board. Like, I think the highest one was $11 higher, which I think was the C3PO. It was originally listed at I think that was the one that was $205, and then it was on sale for $190 something or something like that. I don't remember the prices off the top of my head, so don't quote me on the prices, but I saw it for myself at one of my local Targets that they rose the prices of everything and then dropped the prices for Black Friday. And I find that shady. And it's shady because, for me, I'm a Lego collector. I'm not as big as my dad or other big Lego collectors, but I do collect select Lego sets and everything like that. And I know to spot prices and know when I'm getting ripped off. Whereas grandma and mom and dad and grandpa and aunts who are not they're not I don't want to say boomers, but boomers are the older generation that are they're well, we're adults and we don't collect stuff like that because why would we collect toys? That's for kids, not for adults. But they go and they go to the store and they go, oh, look at that, this was $200 and now it's on sale for $180. That's a really good price, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy that. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's that's shady, guys. That's shady. But yeah, so when you're out there Black Friday shopping, just because you see something, oh, it was $69, it's on sale for $40, go ahead and check what the original price was. Go check what the actual price was before that, because even Walmart has done that, where they have raised the prices of stuff and then turned around, rolled it back to the original price it was, and you think you're getting a deal, so you tend to buy. When you get it, it's like human psychology. When you think you're getting a lower price than what you normally would pay, you tend to buy things that you normally wouldn't purchase. So I always say that, like, when it comes to buying stuff, always have a plan. Now, if you're buying for gifts, that's a different story. But if you're buying for yourself, always have a plan of what you need and stuff like that. So I had a really busy week as a result of all this, and I ended up hurting my wrist last Thursday. I think it was last Thursday. Yeah, it was last Thursday. I don't know. I was laying down, and I think I somehow rolled onto my arm, and I laid in this weird angle. And as a result of laying on my arm, I ended up like hurting my wrist, and like I bent it a certain way, and it just like starts hurting. And like it was like I had to ice it up all weekend, so like my entire weekend was blown, and I didn't get any content done. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm behind on content. I'm behind. Like, I was ahead, not on reactions so much. I mean, I am behind on a couple of series that I haven't watched like in weeks now, because like I usually do all my recording on my days off and then edit throughout the week and post as I go. But as a result of this last weekend, I didn't get that, so now I'm slowly catching up, and it's kind of irritating me a little bit. But so yeah, it was really weird. So, and then I had a day off yesterday, because everything was, I work nights, so places were closed, so I couldn't go to work Wednesday night because everything was closed. Would be closed Thursday, so there was, they gave me Thursday. It's weird, they give you Wednesday off, and then I work Thursday night, so it's kind of, we'll get into the whole like night shift stuff here pretty soon here. But yeah, so I ended up sleeping a lot, and so. And that's the thing, I was like, we're going to roll into like the overnight thing. I work overnights. That's my day job, night job, I guess you could say. And, it pays well. It pays a lot more than what I was making when I worked on the day shift. And so I'm trying to save up money and stuff like that for a house, and save up money for some other things. And so I've been kind of killing myself a little bit, because like when I have a significant amount of time off, my body naturally switches back to like I sleep at night, and not so much sleep at night, but I even find myself going to sleep 10, 11 o'clock at night, falling asleep. And I don't know, that I think is kind of a bad deal for me, because then that naturally, it's my body trying to, and it's weird because before that I was finding myself being up all night, and so I was like, oh, maybe I should just work nights. And now I'm switching back. It's kind of weird, and I don't know, is because when I tend to work days, I tend to like get a solid 7 hours. But when I work nights, I have a tendency to sleep less than that, and that's something that I really need to work on. And I've been doing a lot of thinking if I should shift back to working day shift in 2026, and because with the holidays, there's no way I'm be able to switch back before January anyways. But at the same time, it would be a significant pay cut if I were to switch, and I think I just need to push it. I need to suck it up a little bit for at least maybe another year. We'll see how the year goes, but so yeah, I've been behind. I finally got around to transforming that Misha KO from New Age. I transformed it today. And looking at the instructions are garbage. They're garbage. I couldn't even understand what they were asking me to do with how I don't know if the instructions were a copy of the original or not, but they probably were. So the original instructions are probably garbage too. But initially, transforming it was a nightmare. And I had to look up several videos, and one of the videos that I found said just take the feet off. And I find that and I don't know if the original was like that. That's just unfortunate. There's some panels that just seem to they don't peg in as strongly, so it's very panely, because it's it's a BMW when it's in vehicle mode, and it looks great, and it actually is pretty solid. I mean, there are some parts that like one of the arms just kept popping off, like it's got some really weak joints, but it's also a KO. So I'm not like, I'm not too heartbroken over it. if I ever see the original, or if somebody does a new one, I'll definitely be down to pick that up. But, it is what it is kind of thing. The acoustic wave KO that I got, that I talked about a couple shows ago, I ended up having an issue with it where, because it comes with all the accessories where you can make it the toon mold or the toy deco mold, and I like the toy deco mode better. And so I attached most of all the toy deco. I think the only thing I didn't put on were the knees, because the knees are give it red dots, and it's I don't care, I'll just keep it white. No, actually, I think I did replace those too. No, I think I replaced those parts too. But yeah, it has these, and the nice thing is that the side leg pieces, they tack on, but as a result, and you can transform it into its tape deck mode with them on, but they fall off. So I ended up, because I know that that's just how I'm gonna have it, and since I know it can be transformed into take deck mode without taking them off, I just hot glued them on. It's a KO. It's not like it's a fan's toys, where I'm ruining it. So I'm like, I'll just glue them on there. And I have been still, I have the acoustic wave is on my eBay listing, watching it to see if anybody puts one up at a good price. I mean, even the, even out of box, I'd be fine with out of box, because I'll probably not keep the box anyways. It comes with the 3 tapes. The rumble is garbage. It's straight garbage. It falls apart. The legs are super loose. So, and then when you plug in the jackhammers on the arms, they just fall off. And because of the legs not being very good, it just kind of falls off. So he's currently sitting in the tape deck, and then Ravage is pretty decent, but the problem with Ravage is his hind legs seem to pop off during transformation, so I had to just popping them off and then popping them on with the ball points or the ball pegs. So it's fine. And then I got Laserbeak. Laserbeak is probably the only one that was fine, and he looks great. Kind of I use a peg that you can peg him onto the arm of Soundwave, so that's kind of how I have him posed. I know that MMC did the tapes, the larger scale tapes, and if I ever see them available again, I'll definitely want to pick them up, because I think those would look great with Soundwave. Just the scale. I'm not worried about the scale when it comes to that. I think they should be a little bit bigger. And then you always have mass shifting and Transformers, so there's not to say they couldn't be at least half the size of Soundwave, in their robot modes. Even though in the cartoon there were sometimes Rumble was sometimes about maybe 6 foot tall, 7 foot tall compared to Spike, so yeah. But the reason why I recorded this so late, and so I do apologize if there's some screw ups in editing, because I'll probably speed through my editing process a little faster than I normally do, because I wanted to talk about Stranger Things, and I like Stranger Things. I started watching Stranger Things pretty much when the show started, and I think I didn't watch it initially when it first started. I think I watched it within the same year that it came out on Netflix. And a buddy of mine ended up purchasing the box sets for them. I think first 3 seasons. Yeah, I think it's season 1 through 3. And they look like VHS tapes, but it's the DVD collection. So it looks like a VHS tape, which is super awesome, because the whole series takes place in the 80s, and it's all around Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody's watched Stranger Things. You guys don't need me to explain to you what Dungeons and Dragons is. But so I wanted to watch the new season, and I got through the first 2 episodes for sure, and the first episode, halfway through the episode, I was just confused. Because I didn't realize they were gonna do such. I was confused because it's been 3 years, guys. It's been 3 years since season 4, and I haven't watched Stranger Things since then. And I probably should have gone back and watched season 4 leading up to season 5's release, so I could get refreshed with what happened. I mean, I know what happened, but they all look so much older. And it's only been 18 months, and I know children at that age, you can have massive growth spurts, but it's just a little jarring. And I was ooh, they're just they look a little too more mature now to be playing high schoolers, but a lot of the things that's happened, it's kind of become a mystery again to me. And I think it's just mainly because I haven't watched anything Stranger Things in 3 years. So I'm probably going to have to do another binge watch of Stranger Things before I continue finishing season 5, just so I can get the whole experience again. I did get halfway through episode 3 before I was I'll just stop it and I'll go to bed, but I'm not oh, I gotta watch it all now, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the show progresses and everything like that, and how it's going to end. I think the ending is going to play in the theaters, which is a nice little segue into movies. So I haven't watched any new movies probably in 3 weeks now. I haven't gone to the movies in 3 weeks. And there's a couple of reasons for that. So the movie theater in my area is Cinemark, and so I'm part of Movie Club. And I pay $9.95 a month, and it gives you 1 free credit. Plus, you can buy tickets online, and it waives the fee that they charge you. And I always find, like, so you're gonna charge me a fee to buy the ticket early when I can just go to the theater and buy it and not pay a fee. So it's kind of silly that and I get it. The movie theaters are dying. I do feel like movie theaters are dying. So with Movie Club, to give you guys a little bit of perspective of Movie Club, and it's not sponsored. I'm not trying to promote Movie Club. Actually, we'll get to that. The Movie Club, so I don't remember how many points you earn per dollar spent. I don't remember what the amount was, but you get 10% off. Or you get 20% off concessions. And for like years, I would go and I would use my credits when I had them, and then I would just I always ended up buying like popcorn, a soda, and like usually like a candy or something, so I was spending, normally be like $25-$30, and then I turn around and spending like, half that price because I'm getting 20% off. Well, so as a result of that, a lot of times I was using either movie credits for tickets because I would like every 2 weeks, I was almost having it. I was like, oh, I have enough for a free movie ticket. So I would use it. And I noticed halfway through this year, probably around, I want to say like the summer, I noticed that I wasn't earning as points as quickly as I used to be. And I was like, well, that's weird, because I've been to several movies over the summer, and like I didn't even earn I saw Superman twice. I think I saw Superman twice. Yeah, I want to say I saw Superman twice, and I saw, so in order to earn a movie credit, you need 300 points, and I'm still only sitting at 281, and I don't know if it'll show me if I can look and see like my movie points. No, that's history. I want to look at movie reward history. So renewing Movie Club, I get 11 points. I got 11 points for food purchases. I got 11 points. So I don't know how far back this goes. So so in July I used 300 points for a free movie ticket, and then 80 points for an upgrade. That was probably for like a XD movie or something. Probably Fantastic Four or Superman. And then, I entered a couple sweepstakes, which I never win, so I just like whatever. And then, okay, gain points. I've gained points. I use an XD upgrade. I've earned some points. Okay, September I had a movie credit. So between July and September, I used the movie credit. I used 300 points. I got a movie credit, and then in September, I earned enough to make another one. And September, let's see here. I'm just scrolling through here. And so now it's November. The last movie I actually went to was November 1st, and that was for the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. I haven't been to the movie since then, so the entire month basically. And I haven't even gotten close to earning another. I got to 20 more points. So based on what I'm looking at, like 11 points. So even if I went to the movies, I would earn 11 more points. That's not even enough to earn another movie credit. And I noticed something when I scroll back, when I go further enough, so like way back in June, I got 25 points, and it was basically the same thing, popcorn, drink, candy bar, 23 points, 30 points, 17 points. So it looks like it was just a drink, just a drink, 18 points, just a drink, 18 points. But then so what ended up happening is Movie Club gives 20%. I get 25% off because I am a premium member, because I went and saw enough movies last year to earn platinum status, which I'm actually one ticket away this year of reaching platinum status for next year. And so it's basically it gives you 4 free movie credits, and then you get 25% off concessions. But that 25% does not include merchandise. Now, what they ended up turning around and doing is that usually when I go to movies, I would get they have a popcorn tin, right? So I get a popcorn tin, and then I would get, and the reason I know they changed this, so they changed it where they changed popcorn buckets and popcorn cups, like the special ones for with the themes and stuff for the whatever movie. they reclassified those in their system as merchandise. So therefore, you no longer get the 25% discount on them. So you pay full price now. So that's why I haven't earned enough points, because and you would think, well, wait a minute, you're spending more money, so you should get more points, right? Well, actually, you get less points. It's weird. It's kind of weird how they do it. I need to look it up, see how it actually works. But it seems like when I was spending less money, I was getting, a standard large popcorn tin, so popcorn tin's like $20, and then a popcorn cup, which the the drink for $10, right? Large $10, and then a candy, which is like $8, which I know, shouldn't do it. So my bill comes up to about like $25, and I get 25% off. And then I got like 25 points. But then now they reclassify popcorn buckets and drink cups as merchandise. If you buy the fancy ones, if you're just getting like a regular paper popcorn, bag or whatever, if you're getting just a regular drink, you're not getting like the fancy cup that they have like for whatever movie's out or whatever, then it's still considered concession. Well, so now I'm not getting any discount. The only discount I got 25% off on the candy bar, on the candy, but the drink and the popcorn I get no discount on. So I spent more money, but then I only get between 11 to 15 points. So you see what I'm saying? So I'm getting points. I'm getting less points, and I'm spending more money now, because so now the incentive for me to go in and buy the popcorn tin, which I need to stop buying pop. I've made a decision. I am no longer going to buy any more popcorn tins, no matter how cool it is, because when I look at my house and look at my display, the only popcorn tins that I have on display is the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime popcorn tin, the Transformers 1 popcorn tin, and that Galactus popcorn tin, which was $80. And I know that I got that before they made the change, because that was $80 and I only paid $70 for it. So I got the 25% discount on it. Whereas now, the last time that I went to the movie theaters and bought a popcorn tin, I didn't get the 25%. And I never asked for receipt, and I should start asking for receipt so that I can see where the discounts are going, or if there is a discount. I might do that next time, just so I can see, just for some proof. But there's some of the movies coming out lately, I've just been like, yeah, it was cool, but I don't really feel like I need to rush out to see them. And I know this might be crazy to say, but I'm kind of over the crowds. Like, I think it might be, I don't know if it's age. I'm 43 years old now. And I don't know if it's just like, I just don't want to sit there and have a whole bunch of people around me. And I don't know if I think Doomsday will definitely be like Endgame, being packed. But I don't know if I want to experience that again. I think, because I don't want to go into that movie and it being garbage and being bad and ruining that experience that I got with Endgame. So I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, and I don't know if I cancel my movie club if I lose my credits that I've earned, so I don't know, and I don't know if it's like I have to use them. So that's something I need to find out first. I only got one more movie to see, so I mean, I'm sure there's something that'll come out that I'll just go see, and I'll get the free. I might as well get it, right. Get the 4 free credits, right, and get 4 free. It's basically 4 free movies. But I don't see the value anymore. I mean, I might go and just get like a regular popcorn and a regular drink, and ask for a receipt so I can see what the discount was, and that might tell me if I want to continue. But like, I just, there's nothing coming out next year that's really like, oh, I got to go see it. Like, He-Man. Yes, I definitely want to see He-Man. I think Avengers comes out. I think Avengers, either Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man or Doomsday comes out next year. I think it's Avengers that comes out. I think it's Spider-Man. I'll probably go see Spider-Man. But other than that, there's nothing else that's really like, oh, I got to go see it. And that's only 2 movies out of 12 months. And I think Supergirl comes out next year, but like, I'm not like, oh, I got to go see it kind of thing. Like, I'm okay. I think I'm okay with waiting now. Like, I think it's kind of strange. I think I'm kind of done going to the movies, guys. And that kind of sucks but like, the thing is, like, I just go to the movies with my one friend, and it's fun and all. But like, I miss the days when all my friends would go to the movies with me, when like a group would go, and it was like 3 or 4 of us would go. But a lot of them, like, they don't want to go anymore because it's expensive for them. And I get it. I totally understand movies are expensive now. And like, and then like you only have to wait 3 months for it to come up on streaming, and it's like, is it the experience? Like okay, like I'll talk about Back to the Future. Like, so I never saw Back to the Future in movie theaters when I was a kid because it already came and gone by the time I was born. And I don't know when Back to the Future Part 2 came out if they did like a double feature. I don't remember. I can't remember. I just don't remember. I know I saw Back to the Future 2 in theaters, and I'm way sure that I saw Part 3 in theaters. And I saw Turtles in theaters, and I've seen Turtles in theaters now like 4 or 5 times. But because they've released it a couple of times in theaters. The original 1990 Turtles movie, and I think this year was the 40-year anniversary for it, so they released it. But anyways, I don't know, guys. I think I'm just done. Like, I think the experience of the movie theaters is just gone now. It's just like, it's, unless I'm going, like, even like say I was even going out on a date, to take it to a movie theater now just seems very lackluster. Like, I think I'd prefer just to sit home and watch it on my TV or on my computer, or sometimes on my phone, because you're just laying in bed, just watching on my phone. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of like, I think I'm over. I got December. And I think in December, I think I'll make the decision. And if I find out, like, if I end my movie club subscription, if I lose my credits, and of course you lose your 20% or 25%, right? But it's like, but at what point? But if I'm not going to the movies, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't go to the movies, getting a discount on concessions doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So. And more often enough, when I go to the theaters, it's like, man, I'll just eat afterwards. I'll just eat before I go, or I'll eat after. It's cheaper. And even eating out now is expensive. Like, last time I went to McDonald's for like the Monopoly thing, and I was just like, man, this was $35 for one person. And all I got like a burger, and I got another burger for later, and I got a drink and got a fry, and I got like a free fry with my points or whatever. But it was like $28, and I'm just like, like I remember I used to be able to go to McDonald's for $20, and I still had $10 left. I used to go get a Big Mac. I used to be able to get a Big Mac for $4, and that was with a large drink and large fry. Whereas now it's like $8. It's like $10 now for it, and then like it's not as big. They actually shrunk the Big Mac. Actually, now if you want to get the actual original size of a Big Mac, you have to get like the deluxe one, which is just crazy to me. So yeah, I've kind of moved into this. I think I'm just gonna like I'm gonna end my movie club. And like, it made sense before, like, and I've had movie club for a very long time. I've had it for several years now, and that was because me and my friend Mr. J, we would go to the movies and record a podcast, Two Fat Guys at the Movies. And here's the thing. We did like 70 plus episodes, and we even had like, we had guests, and the whole premise of it was, we go to the movies, and then we come out of the theater and we give our honest review right off the go. And we tried different ways, like recording, just straight up recording it, like, video. We've tried, recording it at my house, like kind of like at the studio, and like doing that. I mean, I tried doing just audio versions. It just never took off. And the amount of editing and work that I had to put in, that just like, I'm like recording it and then editing it and then making the thumbnails and then posting it on YouTube and then making shorts and posting reels and doing all that stuff and then promoting it. I did all that. My friend just showed up to record. That's all he had to do, was just show up and record with me. But and I never asked him, like, hey, make sure you watch it, make sure you share it, stuff like that. He never did any of that stuff. But I never asked. But it just never took off. It just didn't move. The needle didn't move. And even now, I'm on episode 11 of this podcast, which is crazy to me. I think this is the longest I've ever gone solo, even though I think 2 episodes were kind of like old episodes from past iterations of the show that I just kind of re-edited and just uploaded because I didn't have time to record an episode. And it becomes like a habit. Like, you just have to get into the rhythm of doing things on certain days so that you can just maintain. And that's kind of what my whole content journey has become. It's like just keeping out like what I want to do and just keeping to that schedule and standard and consistency, and not worrying about the numbers or how many views I'm getting or how many likes I'm getting or who's sharing it or the comments. Like just post it, and eventually people will find it. Just keep posting and keep doing your networking and sharing your content in the right places to the right people, and eventually it will take off. That's just how it works. And the great thing about it is that if it never takes off, it's not like I just wasted my time. That's the beauty part of this, is that even though I can be at episode 100 of this show and not have a single listener. I know that's not true because I've seen the stats. I mean, YouTube is not kind of like YouTube. I don't know. YouTube is like, I don't know. It's because it was an old channel that was something else that I was trying, and I deleted all the content, and then I started using that as, as to upload stuff, and like the videos on there are not getting views. They're not getting pushed in the algorithm. But I noticed on my Podbean like statistics, people are listening. People are listening. They're following, And so I know there's a small audience. There's at least one person out there listening to this, and I appreciate you. And I thank you so much. Appreciate you. So, but yeah, like to that podcast thing, like with that show, like, and it was his idea, two fat guys in the movies. It was a cool concept. And I'm grateful. And I ended up relisting all the videos on MajinPlanet TV on YouTube. So, you can go back and watch them. It's one of those things that if one day all of a sudden I start getting a whole bunch of views or comments on this, like, man, when are you guys going to do another one? These are awesome. I might bring it back like as a monthly podcast. I might do that. I might do it as a monthly podcast, but I haven't really figured out what I want to do with it yet. So still kind of working on all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, but I also too, like some of the, like, I'm kind of slowly like one of the things that kind of the realizations that I had is when it came to like toys, like for like, I kind of realized like I have more fun talking about the toy and like what I like about it and like this is cool versus being like, oh yeah, like, this joint isn't very good, it's missing this articulation, this is a very bad toy. Like I don't know, guys, like I don't know if it's because when I do a toy review, it doesn't get any views. And so, like, I don't know if what I'm doing is good or not because I'm not getting feedback. Like, oh, hey, this is really cool, but you missed this. Or you could improve on this. Versus some of my other videos, which tend to do a lot better. Like when I do Prime Talk episodes. Or if I just do general, like, stuff like that. Where it tends to get more... Or like if I do like showcases, like I just show the toy off in different poses and like actions and music and stuff like that. It tends to get more traction and it's more interest. And I don't know if it's because either the toy review space is utterly like, I don't want to say it's trash, but it's just like, so this is the spectrum of toy reviews. You have 3 types of reviewers. You have the reviewer who buys everything. They literally buy everything under the sun, and they have a standard procedure of how they do the reviews. Every review is basically the same review, and they're always positive. They're always positive. And you have 2 sides of that same reviewer. You have the one who does it, but he does it months later so that the hype, I guess you could say, for that toy is already passed. So the views aren't as high as it would have been had he released it like right when, like, especially if it's like based off a show, like say Kamen Rider, and you're doing reviews of the rider belts and accessories and stuff as the show's going, you tend to get more higher views than if I were to release it like a year later. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then you have the reviewer who gets it out before anybody else. This is the first one to get it out. And so those tend to be the people go to, and everybody else is just like, yeah, I'll check it out, whatever. The other type of person is somebody who does reviews, but the stuff is given to them either because they're working with a brand or they have friends or viewers, actually, sometimes viewers that will send them stuff. And so they're able to review things that they normally would not be able to review because they aren't buying it. It's being given to them. And when you have like 4 or 5 people sending you free stuff, whether or not they're sending it to you to keep or you have to send it back to them, do brand deals or partnerships or whatever, when you're getting stuff sent to you, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to review this, but I don't have to keep it. I'm going to review this and I'm not going to keep it. So, and then you have the type of reviewer that's buys what they can and so because they only buy certain things, they're not able to review everything. And so then they miss out on a lot of stuff, Or people's like, oh, you never review this. It's like, well, I don't buy it. And then you have the whole spectrum of reviewers that are overly positive on everything, even if it's garbage. Though, even if it's like, oh, this isn't really good, but this part's not really good, but overall it's a really great figure, but even though the figure is garbage, but they still say it's good. And then you have the people that are just sometimes overly critical, and they don't like something because they don't like that franchise. Like, oh, I don't really like the Bumblebee movie. I think the Bumblebee movie is trash. It was the worst movie ever. But hey, I just got this. My friend of mine just sent me this new Bumblebee figure, and I'm gonna shit all over it. I'm gonna say this is the worst Bumblebee I've ever seen. Blah 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 blah. But was it really that bad? Because I've seen some of these reviewers really give a toy a really bad, like this is the worst figure. Like, oh, it's just terrible. And then I will get it, and I'm like, it's not that bad. Actually, this is pretty good. And I think some people, like, they're outside the box. They don't know what it's like. I think once you become a big time toy reviewer, you lose something. You lose something special. You lose that aspect of, oh, you know what? What is it to be a collector? Because at that point, I feel like when you're a toy reviewer, you stop being a collector. Because now you're not, because either you're reviewing something that was given to you through a brand deal or some other means, and you're being overly critical of it because it's not yours, you didn't pay money for it, it's not going to be in your collection. And then you have stuff that you buy that's going to be in your collection, and you either crap on it because it ends up not being what you were hoping for, or you're overly positive on it and you miss some of the flaws. And then it comes down to like there's no like standard. Like, I feel like when it comes to cell phone reviewers and like tech reviewers, there's like a standard. Like, this is what every tech device, like phone, like we'll say cell phones. This is what a basic cell phone should have. And it doesn't have those features, so that's a bummer. But then it has these extra features. That's not the standard. You see what I'm saying? Where it comes to toys, especially like action figures like Marvel Legends, SH Figure Arts, and Transformers, there's no direct standard that every Transformer should have X, Y, and Z. Every Marvel Legends should have X, Y, and Z. Every SH Figure Art should have X, Y, and Z. Every hot toy should have X, Y, and Z. If it doesn't have X, Y, or Z, it's not as good as the standard. If it has A, B, and C, well, that also makes it a little bit better because it has what is not standard. And every reviewer has their own XYZ. So one reviewer will say, I'm just going to use, because it's in my hand right now, say the New Age Misha. I have the KO version. As I said, I'm not pretending like I have the actual one, but it's pretty much, that's a whole nother conversation right there. I can understand saying, oh, it's not okay to buy a KO of a Takara toy, or of a SH Figure Arts, or of a hot toy, or of a Lego, or of a Marvel Legends. Like, buying a KO is not okay, or a Hasbro figure. It's not okay to buy a KO. But if it's a KO of a third-party figure, at what point are you saying, well, is it really a KO? Because a friend of mine, my same friend, has, when I was like, oh yeah, man, I got my Zeta Superion in. He's like, oh look, you got another KO. Well, no, it's not a KO. It's from Zeta. Yeah, but it's a KO. Like, it's a knockoff of the franchise, and that's what blew my mind. It's he's right. It's not actually. It's like, so like fans' toys, they're all knockoffs. Every single one of them. Yes, they are their own design. Somebody made the design, drew the character, but they drew the design based off of what? The original design. So like, if I were to draw Hot Rod, because I also have my KO Takara Hot Rod in my hand, and go, okay, now we're getting into, okay, you shouldn't have done that. Well, here's the thing. Can't find the original anywhere. And, it's not actually it's a death spot, for one. It's terrible, but I don't know if the Takara one was like that, but the KO has issues. My point is that, okay, so I'm a third-party company. I'm Ojo Toys in Japan. I run a factory. I own a factory. I make spoons. And I want to make my own iteration of Hot Rod. So I draw Hot Rod. I draw a design for Hot Rod. So I just knocked off the original. I made a KO of the original design. And then I take that design and I give it to an engineer, and the engineer figures out how to take my design and turn it into the car. And maybe I drew the car, maybe I drew the alt mode and I wrote the robot mode. I was like, can you make these two combine? Can you make it transform into that car? And the engineer takes it and figures out how to turn the robot into the car. Both the car mode and the toy design was a knockoff of the original. So it's KO'd, but it's a unique design. Like maybe I put a little flare on the fenders. It's got like, it's definitely got like some stylization to it. It's not a 1-for-1 G1 iteration of the figure. And then I hire a whatever person to make the molding, do the tooling, the CAD files, do the 3D prints, get the actual engineering actually works, and then I get the molds made, get them assembled, and I sell them on TF Safari, TF Source, Shozy, whatever, and I sell it for $150. Now, when you would put it up next to the Takara version, you can see, well, it is Hot Rod, but this third-party one has a little bit of stylization to it. It's still a knockoff of the original, even though it's an original design, but the original design is still a knockoff of the original design. So even like with Fans Toys, when they make a 1-for-1 G1 creation of, say, like the Constructicons, so they're releasing the Constructicons right now, despite the fact there's some changes because of like, their design, their engineering, it's still a knockoff of the original design. That's wild. I find that wild. And I was like, you know what? You're right. But like, I don't even know how I got here. But no, like the toy reviews. So I don't think I'm gonna do toy reviews anymore. I think all going into 2026, all my toy, it's gonna be like, I'm just gonna like just do videos of like me playing with them or like showing them off, like just showing them off what it can do. Because every toy that I do, I own it. Like nobody, like there's been very few figures that I've gotten, mainly just Mr. J. Like, oh, you want to do a review of this? And I'm like, yeah, cool. But I ended up buying it myself, like the Constructicons, like the first 2 or 3, like for the Hasbro ones, like they were his. But I ended up buying them anyways. And then the last 4, like the reviews were mine that I did. I think the only video on my channel of a toy that I didn't own was the Combiner Wars Constructicons. That's the only one, because those are Mr. J's. Everything else, I own it. And if I don't have it anymore, it's because I probably sold it. And I know there's, I think, like the Ninja Store Megazord, the Hasbro one. Or not that, sorry, was it Hasbro? Or the Bandai one? Anyways, the one from Ninja Storm, the toys, the Zord Builder ones, I sold those. Well, I didn't sell those when I gave them away. So, but everything else, I still own in some capacity in my house, or I've sold it at like a antique store or like a record store or like a collectible comic book store. I've sold it to, or I've just given it away, or I sold it on eBay, or I sold it on the website, which is something I'm going to start doing in 2026. I'm going to start selling select toys and stuff on the actual website. Like, I'm just going to skip eBay and Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to skip all that, and I'm just going to sell it myself and just deal with all the shipping and handling myself. That way, all the fees, or there's no fees, I get all the profits, if there's any profit. Yeah, so I ended up hitting the space bar on my computer and ended up stopping the recording. So I had to start over again. I saved everything, but anyways, so I wanted to talk about, like, I was talking about the toy stuff and like changing my, like, there's a lot of things I want to do next year that like I find myself not doing because like I just let stuff get in the way. Like, one of the things that I want to start doing, I want to start getting into cosplaying. And he's like, well, you don't have the figure for cosplaying, and that's probably the biggest hurdle that I have when it comes to cosplaying. That I'm like, oh, if you're gonna cosplay, you should have. Well, I can't cosplay that character. I can't do that because I don't look like the character. But then I had to realize something, and I started following a lot of different cosplayers, like, and I realized that a lot of these people don't physically look like the character, but they then look like the character because they embody the character. And so 2026, I'm going to start doing some cosplay stuff, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be sharing it with the world yet, if I'm going to make a separate channel for it, because that's one thing that I've been like, oh, everything's about MajinPlanet, everything's on one channel. And it's kind of really, I feel like it's really like hurt. And so I feel like it's going to take a whole nother year of being separate separating all the types of content into its own dedicated channels. I even been doing a lot of research like on shorts, and I realized that having long form content and shorts on the same channel and then not really hurts the channel, because shorts don't transfer over to long form content. Because I can make a video like on a toy and then make a short, and the short will get like 2, 3, sometimes 13,000 views, and the actual video gets like 100 views. And then like the short gets lots of comments and stuff, but then the video gets nothing. It's because the people seeing the short they're not transitioning over to the full video. They're not seeing the full video because there's it's like two different algorithms that work here. And as content creators, I think we've all been trying to put them together, and they can't. So what I ended up doing is the MajinPlanet YouTube channel, which was just all music stuff, and I took all the music down because it was all hit with copyrights anyways. And I just turned that into a shorts channel, and then I just like, you know what? It's just going to be a toy shorts channel. That's it. Just toy shorts. And I think that's where like a lot of my toy content will start going, is to there. And then I think MajinPlanet TV, I think I'm in a transition right now. It's in a transition. Then I think I'm going to turn it into just discussions. I think it's going to be just discussions. Like, I don't think I'm going to be doing all that kind of stuff anymore. And then, of course, I have the Marvel Beyond TV, which is going to be like a monthly, like, I think I'm going to turn it into a monthly podcast show of just talking about movies, or just Marvel movies in general, just Marvel in general, which it's kind of sad. I think the state of Marvel right now is kind of like in a bad place, but we'll see. And then I have a couple other, and then I have MajinPlanet Reacts, which is going to be continue just being toku content, like Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and then Ultraman. And then I will be recording end of this month. I'm going to be starting Metal Heroes. So that'll be something cool. And then anything else I watch, like Stranger Things, like I should do Stranger Things, right? Like I should react to Stranger Things. But I've kind of gotten to a point where like there's just certain things that like I don't really care to react to Stranger Things, or like My Hero Academia, or even like anime in general. Like I don't think I really care to react to that stuff. Because like at some point it's like you have to leave something for yourself. When it comes to making content, you gotta leave something for yourself. And so I think, but see, like Toku content, like Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and all that stuff, it's not something that's like anybody can watch. And so my goal with those reactions is to get more people into the fandom. So you go, oh, this is cool. What is this? You know, that's my goal. My goal is not like, oh yeah, I love watching this show. Like, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you love watching it, but I'm trying to attract new people to it. That's my goal. But I do have a couple other like ideas and stuff like that, but we'll see. I have a couple ideas of what cosplay I would start off with, but I'm not gonna say what that is yet, because I still got a lot of like work to do and stuff like that. But so let's transition and let's talk about what I got this week for toys. And I didn't actually get that much. I did just pick up the Millennium Falcon for $62. The little one, not the really big one. Funny story. For my dad's birthday last year or year before that, I got my dad the Millennium Falcon, the $800 one, and he hates it. Now, I had seen some videos where people had it, but I didn't watch any like deep dive videos on it. Apparently, it's really terrible. Like the integrity of the structure is really bad. Like my dad, like my brother's roommate, bought the stand for it, and it actually broke. Like the Falcon like fell apart when my dad went to go put it on the stand, because you have to flip it over to attach the stand, and because of the structure it's like hollow. Like I was expecting it to be more solid than it is, and it's not. So it's that's what was another factor to why I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get this Death Star set either, because it might have structure issues too. But I haven't heard anybody talk about structure damage or like ensure integrity yet. I think it's pretty solid, but I don't know. Yeah, like just that Lego sound. It's like, oh yeah, the Lego set, cool. Did you build that Lego Soundwave? I did not. I did not build it. Unfortunately, I didn't build it. Still sitting on my table, along with 4 boxes of fan home stuff. I got another package of Iron Man, which I am caught up on. I have this month's box to do. And then I got the Lich King, which I think I have 2 months worth, now 3 months worth of those to do. It's like, oof. And then I took on another one. I took on the Optimus Prime one. And I'm like, I probably should have done that, but it's the movie Optimus Prime. I got the first box. I haven't really decided yet if I want to I've honestly been thinking of doing a new show like Prime Builds and just doing like, oh, I'm gonna do like Lego builds or like fan home builds. So I might test it out with the Lego, not Lego. I might try. I have the Lego Game Boy that I already did record it. I just got to do my final initial thoughts on it video part, and then I'll do a video on it and kind of figure out like what I want to do initially with that. But I have an idea on how I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to basically record my entire build time and have that on the website like as uncut, and then do like a short video discussing the build and stuff like that. So that's kind of the goal with that. It's kind of something I'm thinking about. Otherwise, I didn't really get anything too much other than, oh my God, I am so excited. So way back in 2016, I think was the 40-year anniversary for Super Sentai, which was Zyuohger. Spelled with a Z, but it's Zyuohger. And it was basically a Minecraft themed kind of like Sentai, animal based. And so all the mech were cubes. They were cubes, and they opened up into animals, and then they combined together. And I initially bought Zyuo King and Zyuo Wild, and I ended up getting I think it's pronounced Tosoku Wild King, I think is what it's called, but the Six Rangers Zord. Six Rangers, it was an alligator, which was basically a carrier, a wolf, and then an alligator, which combined together. And that's what I was able to get. And I never got the auxiliaries because I got them from, I think at the time I was buying them all off of Amazon. And if I had known about Toku Collectibles back then, I would have probably gotten them all. But I ended up not knowing they never were on Amazon or at a price. I was like, oh, that's expensive. And I was also poor back then. I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to pick and choose what I bought. And then the Zyuo Whale came out, and I was like, oh, the final mech to make the final form. And I didn't have, it was $100, about $100 in box, brand new. Missed out on it. And then it shot up to like $200 in box. And I saw it for $300. And then at one point I saw it on Amazon for like $500. And I was like, well, I'm never going to get this. And, just never going to get it. And then one day I was browsing on eBay, and I was looking at like a couple of Toku figures, like Super Sentai mechs. I was like, man, it'd be really cool to get that whole set. And I was like, yeah, this is the entire set for $350, and I think it was I want to say Jungle Fury, but I was like, is this the actual Jungle Fury set, or is this the Sentai DX set? And I was like, I can't remember if the DX set from America was the exact same set from China or Japan. I couldn't remember, because like at one point I think they went to the Zord building and they kind of changed the molds and stuff. They got bigger and like dumber or whatever like that. But I couldn't remember, and then, the guy gave me an offer, and I was like, I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on it, because then it was also missing, so it was also had some scuffs, and it was missing a part. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably never going to be able to find that part. I'd rather just find it complete. And then I came across a seller who was selling Zyuohger stuff, and I was like, oh my God, he has the cube, he has the whale. I think it was $100. It was $100 in box, but then it was like $45 shipping. So it was $145. So basically $145. And then he also had a condor and an octopus as a bundle set, and I think that was like $80. Actually, before I make a fool of myself here, I actually just pull up my eBay account, and I can just pull it up right here. Let's see here. So the Zyuo Cube 10 was $100 plus the shipping, which was $30, and then I got a $10 discount, and then the taxes, so it was $127.44. So it's not in the box though, and it did have a little bit of paint scuffing on the water gun, like the white paint, which is an easy fix. If I really care that much, it's an easy fix. The other one was the condor and the octopus for $80, and then the other one were the 3 auxiliary Zords, the four main ones, which was the griffin, the mole, the bat, and the bear, for $40. So with those combined, it was $120, $45 for shipping, but then I got $12 discount. Now I have to check, because the seller was like, oh hey, you should have contacted me since you did I bought them all at the same time. There were 3 separate listings, and I just like bought them all at the same time. And he contacted me and said, hey, I can bundle this for you. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, we can just bundle this. I'll see what I can get together and give you a discount on shipping. So I haven't checked. He said, wait until it ships. And I say, cool. And I got them. And I've on the Facebook page, you guys can see it on the Facebook page. It's awesome. It's awesome. And like, I have to like move my display around because I don't know if I have enough room for them now. But because the way I did my display, I have to actually get out on a step stool to get to the top shelf. And I want to switch it so that they're more on the second shelf, or they're lower on the shelf so I can get to them quicker to be able to switch, to like mess around with them because all the different modes, you know, just like with the Gojuger stuff, you know, I have it on a shelf level so I can like every now I'm just gonna switch the modes. I'm gonna switch it to this mode, switch them to this mode, because you know that's what the cool part about like even like my Transformers, like I tend to sometimes like I'll transform them all into their vehicle modes and leave them on the shelf like that, you know, and that's kind of like a cool little thing to do, you know. So yeah, so it's definitely interesting to see that. And the company I'm gonna give them a shout out here, a Toy Box Store, and they have lots of other stuff, and I'm like, oof, they have lots of other stuff and everything like that. So I'm definitely looking to possibly purchase more from them probably in the coming months. But yeah, guys, it has been a fantastic week. I hope you guys enjoy your Black Friday, and I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever you ended up doing, because, you know, here in the United States, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, they shut everything down anyways. But if you guys have any questions, comments, you can email me, webmaster@MajinPlanet.com. I'm going to put up at some point this week or the next week, I'm going to set up, I'm reworking on the website again, and I'm going to be adding like a contact form directly. So if you go to MajinPlanet.com/podcast, you bring up the episodes. I'm going to have like a contact thing right there that you guys can like send me emails directly through the website. That way you don't have to do your whole email thing or stuff like that. It'll just contact form straight through like that. So it's kind of a goal for that. Otherwise, guys, yeah, nothing else is coming to mind. I don't think I purchased anything else. There's no other news or content updates that I need to give you guys on. I did revamp the website's homepage. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm gonna put up like a little banner. I am working on starting a mailing list. So if you guys are interested in joining my mailing list, I'm gonna have like probably just updates to upcoming content, behind the scenes stuff, and just general stuff like that. You know, it's probably what I'm looking forward to doing. Still haven't touched the magic cards. They're still sitting on the counter, but I do have an idea kind of where I want to go with that. So just get a little update on that. It's the only other thing I can think of. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you guys next week. And as always, until next time.